I'm the Commissar. We're watching Forged Alliance Forever, and you might have a favourite way to stop an incoming experimental or to attack an enemy base. Perhaps it's Percival's. Perhaps it's sniper bots. Perhaps it's gunships. Today, we have some players with other ideas. Let's find out. And I hope you are ready to get stuck in, my loyal viewers, because there are a lot of players to get stuck into here. Phrasing. We have the North team in the North, we have the South team in the South, and I'm going to go and see who the South team are first. Starting on the right-hand flank, we have Segavax, who is 1132 rated, and Cybran in bright red. Beside him, this fellow here is gettiq, who is 1325 rated and also Cybran. He's in yellow. Opening first air in one of the rearguard positions, we have Green Hat 2288, 1119 rated and also Cybran, and unsurprisingly in green. And we have mature and carefully thought out strategy being planned here from Sega. On to the player who will undoubtedly be the air player, hiding as they are behind these cliffs and stuck at the back. We have wetlettuce, who is 1920 rated and Eon in mucus brown. Moving forward, this fellow is Katsu, who is 1750 rated and Cybran in white. And last but not least, for the South team, this is HotCheeseInRear, which in this context I will pretend means something like, I don't know, dropping a double gun, double nanocom into the back of the enemy base. That would certainly be cheese, and it will be in their rear. Would it be hot? Let's find out. He's 1123 rated, and he's Seraphim, and he's in grey. On the other team, their right flank is occupied by DrEntropy, who is 1043 rated and UEF. He's in mauve. Above him, this fellow is Meven, 1413 rated and Cybran in baby pink. Advancing here, NB3 from the rear base. He is 1156 rated, had to take a moment to check that, and he's in burgundy playing Seraphim. Their air position is occupied by FaffingOff, who is 1782 rated and Seraphim. He's in dark green. Already well forward here, this is Lastik. Lastik is playing Seraphim. He's 1562 rated and he's in cyan. And last but not least, on the other flank for the North team, this is Big Boy, who is 1386 rated and Eon in electric pink. Quick look at the map. We have these civilian cities here with active defensive turrets. Big Boy's already shooting at this one with an artillery to take it out, so they'll be worth reclaiming. We have an immense number of mechs scattered across the middle of the map, including in this not really close to anybody northwestern plane, so map control is going to be essential, and a liberal smattering of reclaim everywhere else. Katsu already dropping forward here and setting up an early point defense, which is quite nice. Little lab raid coming in from DrEntropy, who did actually have another one over here, we didn't see it, but that just walked straight into Sega's comm. And we have a drop. It's full of labs. Is it going to be a drop or a ghetto? Either way, it's coming in from Meven, and we have to have a look at this, because this early in the game, at just under 4 minutes, a full ghetto full of labs is going to be amazing. I am 100% sure of it. In it comes. It's been noticed, but what can South team do to stop it? Meanwhile, Cheese has been trying to get this transport out with a big load of engineers, but Faffing's inties catch it. Meven's ghetto, flying in. There is a lot of engineer stuff that it can kill from gettiq here, and that is where it's going. Down go NGs. Down go more NGs. Look at this is going to be painful for gettiq as he's losing so much build power to this ghetto. And now the ghetto moves on to the power gens around the air factory, killing a couple of these. That could be exceptionally good. And down they go. Is this causing gettiq power trouble? Well, he's on the breadline, and the next one is going to make it worse. So gettiq could have real power problems when a couple more of these go down. That's really good. I like it. And how's he doing now, power-wise? Well, look at that. Minus 80, he's going to have trouble. He's losing his mexes now. This is an amazing ghetto from Meven. As if that weren't enough, Meven has another ghetto coming in, and this is heading for Green Hat's eco. A lot of mexes and power it can pick up here. And it is going to town. Denying this Hydro, or at least slowing it down, will also be pretty nice. Good ghetto work from Meven. Meven's first ghetto. Takes out another mech belonging to gettiq and just comes back. There is anti-air being pumped out, but Meven just flies on. And Green Hat's base is now awaiting demolition. These energy storage could be quite good if he blew them up. He takes out the engineer and he just lands the labs. In come Inties in order to try and take out Meven's second ghetto. And it looks like it's got, and it's down, but that did so much damage. Look at this. Meanwhile, at the very top right, Faffing has snuck out a full load of 8 NGs on a Serra transport in order, I think, to set up a cheeky little expansion over here. Are we going to see a delicious factory go down? Yes, we are. And Radar, I think he's planning to colonize all this area. Nice touch. Meven's labs, dropped off the ghetto, are going to run around slaying engineers. This mech is almost upgraded and will be an amazing pickup, but it does upgrade, and I don't know if he's going to have time to kill it, because these labs just don't have the firepower to take out the mexes. However, he is taking out, well, they do at T1, but not at T2. However, he's taking out power, which is a good choice at this stage of the game. As is the energy storage. If you can take out both of these, it will stop Green Hat being able to overcharge. And down they go. A Mantis comes in from gettiq to support, but the labs are faster than a Mantis and they just run on. Killing these pigeons will be great. Are they going to stop for it? Quick check on Sega and Entropy, who are scuffling with their comms. Neither side has much spam, and both are into the yellow, so I think they're both going to be forced to fall back before either does any real damage. No, Meven's labs, they just scamper in, but Lettuce has now got labs out of his own, and he's also bringing bombers. And by these powers combined, it should be enough to take them down, but maybe not before they take out another mech, this time belonging to Lettuce. These labs have been completely brutal from Meven, and I love every second of it. Down they go. In the middle, a cheeky little foray by Katsu's comm is going to deny a couple of mexes to Lastik. At least 2, maybe 3, but Lastik has a decent base over here in terms of it's got PD, it's got production, and Katsu wisely falls back, but that's a nice little raid to take out a bit of eco. Okay, meanwhile, let's take a note to see that Big Boy has reclaimed his entire city here. Cheese hasn't even touched his. So that could be a big advantage in favour of Big Boy. Cheese is very exposed here, going quite far forward and standing around absolutely naked. Meanwhile, we have some aggressive play in the south. NB3 already has gun, and Meven is using Mantis to assist his comm to gun. And NB is coming forward. Big Boy is massing spam. This could be useful if it pushed it. That's probably actually enough to take down Cheese, given that Cheese isn't wearing any little upgrades at the moment. But Big Boy might be waiting for his gun upgrades to complete. He started the range, and I'm sure he's got speed queued. Meanwhile, we've got South Team getting a bit salty there in the chat, as more aggression comes out from North Team. Dr. Entropy also going for the gun. But where's the aggression? We want to see aggression in this game. Who cares about strategy? We want the units fighting. That's what we, the viewers, want to see. And it looks like we're going to get some as NB engages the spam from gettiq. But let's go for some play-by-play. On the left, Faffing is pushing in with his comm, taking out some of Cheese's mexes. Katsu's been building a wall, but it's easy for a comm to reclaim or just walk past that. But I'm actually more interested in Big Boy's spam right here. He has a decent amount of spam, and it's going to be able to crush this production if he moves in. And he's moving. I hope that he is going to be able to do this, because it would be a huge waste not to. Just smash this production. Big Boy himself he's got range, he's getting speed at the back there, but he needs to move forward to support it. But he's not taking the chance, he's pulling back. Sure, I understand he wants to wait for his comm, but he should know that he can absolutely crush this if he goes in now. And that situation won't stay the same for very long, because we have Cheese on the gun upgrade. Meanwhile, in the middle, we have NB with his gun comm, and this spam from gettiq gets a lot of spam, and it will be enough to take down a T1 comm maybe, without a non-gun comm and naked. You know what I meant. Anyway, it will be enough to take down a naked comm, but with the gun, and with this positioning from gettiq, I think NB is just going to be able to smash his way through it, which will give Meven enough time to finish his gun upgrade. And gettiq is going to be forced to fall back as NB just starts reclaiming the Rex from right under his nose. Nice play. Bombers from Lettuce are trying to deny the spam from Big Boy, and that makes sense because the Auroras die to only one bomb hit, but there's a lot of AA in the mix from Big Boy, and the bombers from Lettuce are taken out. And finally, Big Boy is advancing with his comm. On the other side, Sega and DrEntropy are scuffling with their spam, and DrEntropy has more spam, but Sega's comm is here, while DrEntropy's comm is all the way over here on an upgrade, and that might be a bit of a problem for DrEntropy, because Sega's comm could just go to town on this spam, especially if it's positioned in a sort of sideways line like this, meaning he can just pick them up one at a time, and DrEntropy's still a few seconds off finishing his gun. He's forced to fall back with his spam. Up at the top, Cheese is under a little bit of pressure from Faffing's spam, but he's gonna finish gun. He's gonna lose his energies to the tanks, but he's gonna finish gun, and there he goes, and now this will be easy for him to deal with. On the other side, we're having a bit of posturing from the various comms as gettiq joins the throng who are going to go for gun upgrades. Green Hat hasn't yet, but NB, Meven, gettiq, DrEntropy all have, and Sega might actually be in a bit of trouble with that amount of spam and the gun comm from DrEntropy. But I think it's time for some play-by-play again. At the top, HotCheeseInRear is hoping to get a bit of that hot cheese into the rear of Big Boy, but Big Boy's comm is here to fight him off, and they engage head to head. At the same time, just below that, their spam is clashing. The comms are duking it out, the spam is duking it out. Meanwhile, Katsu advances on Lastik, and he's just finished his gun. He's got some spam in support, but he doesn't know that Lastik has just this second finished gun and started on regen. I don't know if, actually he might have time to finish regen before he gets there. Forward comes Katsu. Back up to Cheese and Big Boy, and Big Boy's down to the yellow, but Big Boy has got much more spam here, and these Auroras will be able to lay down a bit of damage on Cheese. However, don't forget, Cheese does have the gun, and he might be able to face off against these Auroras. And Big Boy is indeed undeterred, he's coming back in. This energy drop is just shot down, but the energies actually, some of them get off, but I don't think they're going to get much work done. No, one overcharge takes them out. Back to Katsu, where Lastik has just finished gun, and this might, and Resto at the same time, and this might be an unpleasant surprise for him, especially as Lastik is going to be able to use that Resto on these units which are surrounding him, and Katsu thinks he's got the advantage and so pulls his spam back, but soon he realizes that that might have been a little too early. Katsu down into the yellow. He's being, I was going to say he's being forced to fall back, but he's trying to shoot this spam, but Lastik gets a T2 point defense up, and now Katsu is really going to be forced into retreat right here. Cheese and Big Boy fighting it out, but Cheese is calling his units back because we have this run-by coming in from Faffing, and this is an excellent play from Faffing, as it is going to give Big Boy a chance to press his attack. Look at this, as the tanks from Faffing are just going to dive in. There's attempts to put up point defense, but I don't know if it'll be successful. At least it won't be if Faffing notices. Oh, it's close. The point defense goes up, and I think that might finish these guys off. Meanwhile, Cheese is under huge pressure from Big Boy's spam. He's got to hold off Big Boy, so he's got to keep his comm around, but has he actually got enough? Yes, he has. Big Boy falls back. And Faffing's spam, Faffing's run by has... Ooh, we'll check that in a second. Katsu falling back, and Lastik is chasing him, but now it is Lastik who finds himself slightly out of position with a big swarm of Katsu's spam as well as Katsu's gun-com. That says Katsu's gun-com is down into the red. Is he going to make it out? Oh yeah, it looks like he is, but only just. Cheese coming forward, and he's heading back towards Big Boy, and Big Boy still has a decent amount of spam, but I don't know if Cheese has enough here, and he's actually into the yellow. Big Boy's spam is swarming back around him, and Big Boy's comm is here. Big Boy's now got Obsidians in there, and that's going to be a big difference. Obsidians can take a punch, and they pack a punch, and Cheese comes under fire as Big Boy's comm comes swarming in. Cheese is utterly surrounded, and this looks pretty bad for him. He's into the red. He's shooting at Big Boy. He shoots Big Boy into the yellow, and Cheese suicides, and the comm bomb takes out the spam. I'm pretty sure that's what he was going for, but Big Boy is very much still alive. Meanwhile, I promised we would look at these drops coming in from Faffing and Meven. This one is full of labs on a Sarah transport, so I think it was intended to be a ghetto, but it's deep in the red with only 7 hit points remaining. He drops them. He drops them, and immediately the transport goes down, but he's managed to get his labs on the ground supporting Faffing's tanks. There is still this point defense here, but Faffing's brought some arty, and that should be able to handle it if he notices, which he actually hasn't, and the arty goes down. However, Meven's managed to get a couple of labs past, and Faffing's... Oh, this is going to be a nice pickup. A Mex that was halfway on the way to T2, take it out. Bunch of P-gens is destroyed here. There's Cheese comm-bombing, and the drop is, I say destroyed, Control K to stop the labs killing them, and the drop is taken out apart from one lab. I wonder if this lab is going to achieve anything. What's his name? Tell me in the comments below what you think this one hero lab's name is. Now, we said Cheese's comm bomb didn't kill Big Boy, but this strap might. However, the strap failed to drop. It's been pung, but what have they got to stop it right now? It spins around, and this time the bomb is off, hitting Big Boy and leaving him with just 3,700 hit points. There's T1 from in the air from Big Boy trying to stop it, but that's barely gonna hurt it. But again, the drop is failed. That is gonna really hurt Lettuce's plan here, but this time he gets the drop, and Big Boy down to just 1,100 hit points. However, there's an ASF. A single ASF arrives from Faffing, and it takes down the strat. Meanwhile, we're shaping up for a big scuffle on left. We've got comms going for gun and stealth here, but this is where we have to focus now. We have Sega, naked, gettiq in the yellow but with gun, and DrEntropy with gun, all coming together for a great big scuffle. gettiq is being careful with this hill to hide behind, and so he should be with all this spam from DrEntropy. Sega is being less careful, which given that DrEntropy has gun and spam, I am a little worried by. But DrEntropy looks like he doesn't want to push it, especially when he sees that gun com fire hitting him from the side, and gettiq has brought a little bit of spam. I think DrEntropy probably needs to support himself with a bit more spam actually. He does support himself with bombers, which is a nice touch, but DrEntropy is falling back. Over to Cheese's old base, where Faffing has dropped again with a big heap of Zooies, but there's Tech 2 point defense being rushed up from Lettuce here. Is it going to go up in time? And has Faffing again forgotten the T1 point defense? It looks like he's just trying to sneak past here. And these enzymes might actually be the ones doing the job, not the point defense. Indeed they do. Back to the combat on the right, where we have gettiq and Sega both into the yellow now against DrEntropy's spam and DrEntropy's gun com, and now Meven with gun and stealth is coming in to help out Entropy, but Green Hat also with gun and stealth is coming in to help out the South team. 3 comms and no spam versus 2 comms and more spam, but Sega is into the red. And Entropy looks like he might be able to focus him down. Is he going to go? Killing the comm at this stage would be wise because it would take out all this spam with it. And Sega's running now with just 800 hit points remaining. 700. I don't think he's going to make it, my loyal viewers. Boom! No, Sega is not going to make it. Sega is out of the game at 14 minutes. And I would tell you what's going on with the rest of the comms in here, but who can see it? I will tell you the answer is not me. There we go. So, now, Entropy and there are also hoplites supporting Meven. Entropy and Meven coming in here. Are they actually going to be able to push the attack? Whether or not they are, Entropy backs off and that forces Meven to back off too. They could have probably maybe pushed Green Hat down here, who's in the red, but they're choosing not to. Here on the left, Lettuce and Katsu have inherited from Cheese, but they haven't inherited much, and so this is just like 5 obsidians here from Big Boy, and it's not much, but it's probably going to be enough to take out this expansion. It's only T1 production, but every little helps, and I think Lettuce is going to be forced to fall back a bit here. Indeed he is. Nice work from Big Boy. Now you'll remember we saw that Lastik got gun, nano and regen, which is a particularly potent combo, but this is a lot of tactile point defense from Katsu, and Katsu's comm with gun is here to help out. Lastik is backed up by his Ilshis, but I do not know if he has actually got enough here, given the amount of T2 point defense that is raining fire down upon him. His spam is falling apart, and he hasn't got any more coming in to back it up. Over to the right, gun and nano now on NB, we can see there, and he's pushing in. Sure, there's a little bit of point defense from Green Hat, but against the gun, nano, comm and this many Ilshis, it's going to do very little at all. Green Hat has gun and stealth, but he's already into the yellow, and his small amount of T2 feels like it is not going to be able to hold off against this assault from NB. Lastik under pressure from Katsu and from that's Katsu, what am I talking about? And he is actually deep into the red. This might be a problem for him. However, he's got more LGs coming in to help. Katsu in the yellow, and Lastik with just 1400 hit points remaining, but he's regenerating in it fast. An attempt to factory block Katsu. But Lastik with only 500 hit points, but Katsu is also below 2500. We might be looking at We are looking at a draw, my loyal viewers, between Katsu and Lastik as both comms die in each other's comm bombs. Wow. Green Hat under threat from NB's advance, and he's got a lot of production he stands to lose here. Lettuce's comm is here as well, but Lettuce's comm is naked, and under even more risk from the shenanigans that NB is laying down on them. However, NB isn't being aggressive enough. There go Katsu and Lastik. NB isn't really being aggressive enough, I don't think. He needs to be pushing in harder. He could have done more damage here. And NB falls back. Now, if you don't mind, my loyal viewers, I'm going to take a brief moment to have a quick overview of the economic situation. Look at these. These are insanely close. The mass totals, almost equal. The generation totals, almost equal. But the difference is here in the mass killed. There's what, 15k mass killed more for North team than for South team. And so that could be an absolutely huge difference. gettiq wisely getting Nano there because he's seeing the amount of pressure that's been coming down on him. This is very nice from Meven getting a bunch of engineers in order to pick up all the delicious reclaim. Now, Lettuce has inherited 3 bases so far. He's given Sega's base over to gettiq, which makes sense given where he is, so that he can micro it. But that does still mean that Lettuce has access to a huge amount of eco. In fact, he's on 340 eco at the moment, and that's given him the chance to expand his air grid quite a bit, and he is taking it. Look at this queue. Faffing, however, has inherited only one base. He's still got a decent chunk of eco given that, but he is not scaling his air grid half as much as Lettuce has planned to. So could air be the key here now for South Team? Mobile missiles out from Meven, stopping Green Hat rebuilding. On the left, Lettuce is trying to expand the game with those obsidians we mentioned from Big Boy. They're still pootling around there. And Big Boy is actually already taking over this expansion with his own NG, so that's very nice opportunism from the North team. And Meven's advancing with these MMLs and with these NGs, and at the moment there's been no response from Green Hat or Lettuce or gettiq. But now Green Hat is coming forward. He might shoot a few of these guys off, but look how much reclaim these chaps have got. And look at the eco lead that North team are taking as a result of just a few seconds ago we were saying it's level. Well, it's anything but level now. Down on the left, as I'm afraid we're going to enter play-by-play yet again. DrEntropy has a significant T2 force here, and gettiq is trying to bring his comm back to stop it, now with Nano as well as the stealthing gun. But this is a big force with DrEntropy, and it's faster than a comm. It can just run on by. I would love to see a run-by come down here. And and he's doing it! Excellent, that's what I like to see. I literally just said I would like to see it, and my loyal viewers, we are going to see it! Down he comes. Now, if he can sneak around here and into the back of the base, there's a lot of exposed eco here. And I don't think one hoplite and a couple of rhinos would be enough to stop this shielded force of pillars. Excellent, he's pushing in. This could be the defense that we need, though gettiq has almost finished a monkey, and that will certainly be able to stop a T2 push. But as he loses mexes here, will he be able to do it in time? There's the monkey going up. In the meantime, where Meven's MMLs have cleared the way, NB is bringing in his first Ophium, supported by a little bit of spam, and that's probably going to be enough to force Green Hat back. Green Hat can overcharge the Ophium if he's got enough energy storage. Has he? Yeah, he has. Look at that, he's got heaps. But he's not choosing to take the risk as more Ophiums come in from Meven, and that means that from NB, and that means that NB will be able to just force Green Hat back and pick up some more territory here. Back to the push from DrEntropy as it gets into the back of gettiq space. There's actually a brick here as well, but one brick will take some time to smash its way through all of this. However, this mech will be a good pickup. So will the HQ, less so because there's another one over here and this one he was actually just given. But the monkey is going to take him out before they do any real damage. These pigeons would be nice targets as well. But it is no matter. Down they go. Green Hat's comm is all the way back here, and there's really no answer to NB as he comes on forward. These mexes could be at risk, this production could be at risk. There is a brick out from Lettuce, which is forcing Faffing back, but NB needs to push. Why are these units standing still? My loyal viewers, I want to see them coming here. And this trickle of bricks from Lettuce is now getting bigger and bigger, and bricks can kite Ophiums. The Ophiums are moving across, or moving down. Where are they going? Nice engagement. They're out of range of the Ophiums, and Lettuce is just going to kite all this. MB was not aggressive enough there, I can tell you that. Now, we mentioned that Lettuce was sending bricks to support Green Hat, but he has almost finished a GC here, and that could really turn the tide. However, he might have more opportunities to use it than just defense here. As we mentioned, NB is, for some reason, retreating. Meanwhile, we have the tactical missile upgrade going down on Faffing, which could be very nice if that GC that we just saw under construction doesn't drive him away before he gets it up and running. We also have advanced nano going down on NB, which could be pretty fun to use if he can then go back in with his units. He will have to be careful. Green Hat's comm is quite far forward, and this could also be a risk given the amount of T2 here from Entropy. Sure, Green Hat has like a brick, but in fact he's got 3 bricks, but against this amount of T2 with the production all here, I don't know if that's going to be enough. My loyal viewers as a caster, sometimes I think that a game can be too exciting, because here we go again. We've got to jump over here to look at these bricks coming in on Faffing from Lettuce. And Faffing does have Othium production here, which he's assisting a bit. This isn't actually that many bricks, but we also must remember that there is this GC coming up behind them. Now, I mentioned that gettiq was looking a bit exposed over here, but we mustn't forget that as well as those bricks, he's got that monkey, which we saw him defending his base with. And all gettiq needs to do is hold the line until the monkey gets here, and then boom, or rather zap, I guess, as this is less of a boom and more of a zap as the Monkey Lord's gigantic laser face opens fire on Entropy's unit. Entropy notices the spider, and that's just as well, as it's almost on top of his base. We do have a few bricks here from Meven, but that is not enough bricks to stop a monkey. Faffing is having his comm pung pretty hard as the bricks come in, but the bricks have to kite or the Othiums will be able to get in on them and take them out, and I think they are going to do exactly that. Yeah, look at that. Remember, Othiums at short range are better than bricks, but at long range the bricks are better than the Othiums. But these Othiums have definitely gotten to short range, and they're doing severe damage to these bricks, and on top of that the point defense is forcing them back. And gettiq's monkey is just gonna keep on going. Entropy's expansion looks like it's gonna be toast. And indeed it is. The bricks from Meven turn back to do a little bit of damage on the monkey from gettiq, but the monkey is able to carve him apart without so much as batting an eye, and nice to see the T3 AA support from gettiq there just in case. But this monkey is dealing horrific amounts of damage to its foes. Faffing has been able to defend a little bit against these bricks, but now in comes the GC. We can see Faffing's comm in retreat over here. And what does he have to stop this GC that is just storming its way into what used to be Faffing's expansion here? He's got a couple of PDs, and sure, PDs are great and all, but against the GC backed up by bricks, I don't think they're going to be that good. Another mech's going down to gettiq's monkey. Entropy's base could be next. Entropy is right here. There is nothing here that will stop the monkey charging in. I said there is nothing that will stop it charging in. Mr. Monkey, there we go. Thank you. The monkey is advancing and Entropy is forced to flee. I mean, you would in this situation, wouldn't you? Walking forward towards Entropy's base. He does have T3 production, but it's currently idle. Is Entropy actually spending anything? Oh, he's got only 35 eco because he lost all his mass, so he can't afford T3s. That's the thing. And now he won't be able to produce it because the monkey opens fire upon him, and it is just going to smash his base. Entropy is going to have his entire base carved apart by this monkey, supported by a couple of bricks and anti-air from gettiq. Faffing's base being smashed by this galactic colossus. I say it's his base, okay, true, it's his expansion, and he's got a lot of other bases to work with. But every little helps, and the GC is storming in. These mexes will be a nice pickup. But it looks like that GC is being told to go in deeper. It's not going to waste its time with these mexes, which the bricks behind it can clean up. It's just going all in. Maybe it's faster than a comm. Maybe he's planning to chase it down. gettiq's monkey in Entropy's base is completely trashing absolutely everything that it comes across. And Meven has his base here and will be next. He started on a monkey, but I do not think that is going to be able to go up in time, and he's indeed stopped working on it. He's putting up heaps and heaps of point defense. He's spamming bricks, everything he can to stop the monkey, but the monkey is just going to be able to walk in there. The GC is still advancing. Oh no, I thought it was going to chase after Faffing. Oh, it still is. It's just stopped to kill a couple of mechs on the way, which is a good touch. And there is a GC going up from Big Boy here, but I do not think it's going to be going up in time. That said, it isn't to the green. We have T1 bombers from Faffing coming in to support here. Is this GC going to make it up? It is 85% done, but I don't think it is. This GC is going to deny it. Boom. And Faffing's answer is hordes upon hordes of T1 bombers. He is absolutely darkening the sky with them. But as King Leonidas of Sparta famously said, then we shall fight in the shade. You know, when he was being attacked by King Xerxes, who famously used a lot of T1 bombers to pressure his enemy. Is that right? What a crossover that would be. Anyway, forward comes the GC. Meven's base is under attack, and the monkey is still in the green. It's barely taken any damage here. Lots and lots of point defenses going up. His monkey is going to be denied. His HQ is a better pick. Down goes some mexes, but I want to see that HQ go out. The mexes are down. The monkey is going to be denied. This HQ is still up. The power was denied. And is it just me, or is Meven's base going to be completely and utterly flattened? I think the answer is Meven's base is going to be flattened. Entropy's com is here. And yeah, Entropy's got no base. Meven's got no base. On to NB. NB is retreating when these Othiums need to be pushing in. Othiums are best up close, and yet another XP gonna be denied. And forgotten his name. Gettiq is just ignoring Entropy's com to get the real damage done, which is PJs and HQs. And the GC, wetlettuce's GC, is stomping through Big Boy's base. The HQ would be a nice pickup, but I think this power is also a very good pickup. Yeah, that is a good target. The bombers are slowly working their way through it. Look at this swarm of bombers. But will they work through it fast enough? Faffing finishes a chicken over there, I'm pretty sure. His com is hiding here. Big Boy's com is running away here as the bombers continue to pound it. Please kill the HQ, my dude. That would be really useful. But I think he might be going on a com hunt. The GC is taken down into the red by the bombers. The GC continues on his com hunt, but with only 16,000 hit points left. Only 16,000. It might not be able to make it 10,000, 9,000. However, it's taking out mexes. Yeah, look at that. It's looking for a com, but it can't find it, so it turns around, but down goes the GC. Oh, that was... Look at the damage it's done, though. Still a couple of mexes here, still the HQ, but... Big Boy has taken some punishment. And look at this. Finally, the bricks and the Othiums are all coming in, and the Monkey Lord... It's killed 106,000 mass, this Monkey Lord. And those T1 bombers, here they come. They're now refocusing on the Monkey Lord, which is in the red. But that's a third base, NB's original base, which is now completely wiped out, and only now does he deign to turn his firepower on Entropy, blowing him up. And that monkey is going to go down. He's only got 1,000 hit points left, but 126,000 mass killed on that one monkey. What an insanely effective unit that was. Now, we haven't really looked at the planes up here in the northwest for a while, but... And they've been firmly in the hands of North Team, but these bricks from Lettuce could change it, and there's nothing really to stop them. A couple of Othiums coming in, but that's enough bricks to stop some Othiums. Meanwhile, over here, we have bricks advancing on NB, but NB has double gun, double nano. I think he likes this because last time he was in one of my casts, we also saw him do it, and that will easily be enough to flatten this army of bricks. All he has to... I was going to say, all he has to do is push up, but he's falling back behind his Othiums. This is a mistake. He absolutely needs to be doing some battering of the bricks here, and he isn't. These bricks are getting work done, but there are Harbies coming in to swarm them down from Big Boy. and NB is falling back. I don't like that choice. He could have wiped this with his comm. He's got double gun, double nano, and he's not using it. Up at the top, Faffing is losing eco to these bricks, and the Harveys are trying to chase them down, but there's a lot of T2 mexes here that these bricks are going to be able to just absolutely tear apart. Othiums are coming out, but they're coming out only a couple at a time, and there's still 4 bricks remaining here, which is going to be enough to mob them down. T2 mech down, Othium down, another T2 mech absolutely for the chop, and another 2. What can Faffing do about this? I am not really sure. NB is continuing to keep his comm back, and I genuinely think that's a mistake. This comm could wipe this brick army with its double gun, double nano, and if he loses anything here, he didn't have to. NB, if you're watching this, I know you love double gun, double nano, so do I, but please, if you're gonna make that investment, make use of it, and it will really pay off, I promise you. Well, I promise you it will pay off if you make use of it in situations like this. If you walk into 3 experimentals, maybe less so. But, yes, he could be coming forward here and killing this, and there would be nothing that these bricks could do about it. Lettuce is working on a GC, but Faffing has Lothium coming in, and more importantly, Faffing has an insane number of bombers coming in again. T1 bombers, the start of today's show, I think. Boom, down goes that GC, and his ASF support is enough to win the air engagement, but these are not finished yet. Where are they going? I think they're planning to take out some of the air grid, and that is probably enough for him to just hit and destroy a P-Gen. Kaboom! Look at that! Immense amounts of damage. The air grid is being trashed, and the bombers come back for another pass. Lettuce says GG as the bombs fall around him. And boom! I don't know whether that was a suicide or whether that... I know it says suicide, but that might have been him being caught in the P-Gen explosion. Either way, Lettuce is out, and his air grid has been decimated, all thanks to a swarm of T1 bombers. Fantastic. Back to NB, and this chicken from Faffing will save his expansion, which is just as well. But now he is retreating, and he has reasonably good reason to do so at last, because there are multiple monkeys now coming in from gettiq. And against one monkey, that comm might actually have done the damage, but against 2 with this amount of bricks, I am absolutely sure that it will not. And I think we're about to see Lettuce go up. There he goes. We saw that on the other screen, but look at this. This expansion is an expansion. In fact, Faffing's chicken has been given to NB now, but NB did not have to lose this at all. He could have used this comm. However, things are going to change. He's got to bring this chicken that Faffing's given him across now to defend against the double monkey action coming in from gettiq. And he does turn his comm, but even with the chicken, I think that the positioning is such that he is under threat. The bricks are still doing damage here, and they've taken out so many mexes. This has been absolutely brutal. But as Lettuce goes down, he's going to lose control of these bricks. Who's going to inherit them? It is gettiq, but I think that gettiq is going to have a lot more on his plate than micro these bricks at the moment. So I think there are going to be free kills for these Harveys coming in from Big Boy. And indeed they are. Still, the amount of mexes they just denied to North Team is incredible. Now, I was mentioning that MB's double gun and double nano was not going to stand up in the face of 2 monkeys. Let's see if I was right. He has got this chicken coming in to help, but he's already lost half his hits. And he hasn't really got any shots upon the monkeys, and boom, he's dead. 2 monkeys crush when they're barely hurt. However, this chicken is doing damage and the monkeys aren't engaging it. However, whoever's about to inherit it, presumably Faffing, is going to have to use it in order to get the damage done. Faffing inherits that chicken, but he's got so much to micro at the moment that it's just going to be left behind by the monkeys. But oh, he's got another chicken coming in. Okay. And he starts moving that one in a different direction, trusting this chicken to deal with 2 damaged monkeys. And I think it's going to. He opens fire. Pop, down goes 1. And the other is soon to follow. It's like Pop goes the weasel, only monkeys are bigger than weasels. Ouch. And now gettiq hasn't got enough to continue his push here, not in the face of a chicken, as the chicken that Faffing gave to NB and then inherited back advances forward on Green Hat's army. Now, South Team, they have the eco lead. They have, I think, the mass kill lead. Yes, they do, by a little bit. But they're about evens on total mass collected, but they are under a lot of pressure. 2 of their lower rated players are all that remain, with both the players at the level that Guile would call pro are out, whereas North Team not only have 4 players, if they have their highest rated player, FaffingOff, still alive and in control of a lot of the eco. So this is going to be an APM challenge for South Team, let me tell you. And now there's also this GC coming in from Big Boy with another chicken following in behind that. So there was a lot of experimental pressure on the South Team. And as if that weren't enough, Faffing is back at it over here with the T1 bombers spamming in. There's not much anti-air left in here to defend gettiq's army, and the situation is looking actually pretty bleak for South Team despite their eco lead. And they think they agree with me. South Team recall from battle. North Team have map control, they have experimentals. The only thing they don't have, and they have the APM advantage thanks to 4 players. The only thing they don't have is the eco, and I think that was going to change soon. But what a great game. Those T1 bombers were amazing. But before I just nominate them the player of the game, tell me what you think. Because Meven with his ghetto gunships at the start, that did amazing work to slow down South Team. And gettiq with his Monkey Lord getting 126,000 mass killed, also excellent. Tell me what you think was the best play in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey. I'm TheCommissar, and I will see you next time.